I'm never one to tell anyone how to parent their kids, obviously. And, and I always say, if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. But at the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be, I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination then, okay, well, then you're going to be a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be. And it's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on.
Like, that was just unnecessary, insensitive.
Some people need to stick to reporting on entertainment news.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
We're not just going down it's not a slippery slope. It's like we're going down the slope in a flying saucer with the cereal varnish from Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
It is remarkable.
Yeah, nice. That's crazy.
Yesterday, gosh, it seems like it was a week ago, Mario Lopez, he was attacked because he had the gall, he had the stones, mind you, to say that parents should be careful about 3-year-olds choosing their gender, right? He was forced to apologize.
That's insane. Absolutely insane.
So think about that for a second before we move on to how this relates to sort of pedophilia and this hypersexualization of children and how it's become mainstream. Think of what that apology signifies.
I just don't even understand, why this conversation was happening with Mario Lopez.
And she kind of teed it up by saying, this weird trend. I don't think this is a weird trend. I think this is reality. And I think that if celebrities aren't talking about it, then the rest of the world would still feel like there's stigma around it, or maybe they won't feel comfortable. But maybe seeing a celebrity shed light on it, it might become normal to the rest of us.
And that's what's kind of interesting to me, is that actually in the Hollywood community is that we are the most, in some ways, liberal community, right? This is where I learned so much, actually, from reading celebrity interviews. People might think that what we do is fluffy, but there is a real, there's psychology underneath what we're doing.
Now, this was in response to talking about Charlize Theron, who announced that their child is self-identifying their own gender, and other celebrities as well, who are allowing their children to make their own determinations. So it drew a lot of backlash for that, and he has since apologized. He released a statement. The comments I made were ignorant and insensitive, and now I have a deeper understanding of how hurtful they were. I have been and always will be an ardent supporter of the LGBTQ community, and I'm going to use this opportunity to better educate myself. Moving forward, I will be more informed and thoughtful.
Oh, Mario.
In addition,
Mario, buckle to the mob.
Okay? He is saying, I am sorry for suggesting that parents shouldn't allow their 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 8-year-old child to make a permanent decision regarding puberty blockers and stunting their growth for the rest of their life. I am so sorry. I now know better, and I will be more thoughtful in the future. By that, I mean guaranteeing the moral high ground to the opinion that all children should make permanent sexual decisions at the age of 3. And that's why I have no tolerance for people who apologize on these issues anymore. Really. We talked about this. We talked about it on Ash Wednesday. If people want to stay in the closet, you don't want to come out as conservative, that's fine. I understand it. Keep your head down. But do not apologize when you have done nothing wrong.
Do you imagine that most people who work here or live here and work in this industry are quite open-minded about things?
Yeah.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but somebody who is meant to be a voice, a spokesperson, somebody who is helping this community tell stories, I'm actually amazed that they seem so close-minded.
Yeah.
And listen, your view hasn't changed, Mario Lopez.
No,
Let's
not
be
at
honest
all.
here. You didn't have a change of heart. You're just afraid. And it's only going to get worse because you apologize. I'm done with this guy. In other transgender news, just to get to this, we're getting to the pedophilia thing, Jessica Yaniv, right? This is the person. And there's something that a lot of people don't know here, but let's go to the clip first. This is the person, for people who don't know, Marley was dead to begin with, suing places, estheticians, for not waxing Z's balls.
Oh.
And what if she did that, and then a dude, a man comes in and says he's a woman, and then he wants my wife to polish his Johnson?
In this day and age, with the BC Human Rights Code and the Canadian Human Rights Code, if someone identifies as a woman, they have to receive those gender affirming care services. That's the law.
I didn't understand a word that gentleman was saying. Was that a clump in whiteface?
Transgender activist. That's a euphemism for a troublemaker. You know what she looks like? Well, who she looks like? She looks like that fictional character on Austin Powers, Fat Bastard. You remember that? I think she more looks like John Candy. All that damn chin action. All that double chin action. Hey, Jessica. Hey, I think Fat Bastard is a very attractive fat bastard. Let's stop laughing and let's get serious on this.
Face it, Mario Lopez has just signed a brand new deal with Access Hollywood, and this will inevitably impact the kind of interviews that Access Hollywood are about to get. You know, they've just paid millions of dollars for this man to front their show. And if I was Charlize Theron, which is how they brought up the conversation, I would say, you know what? Forget my next junket. Because
that's
your
not
host,
a safe environment for you.
It's not,
you know?
like, I do not want to be doing an interview with somebody who is not accepting of what my child is saying, you know.
It's so shocking because he has seemingly been an advocate for the LGBTQ community. I mean,
Canada's a liberal shithole, right? That place is filled with radical leftists. I mean, look at your president. What do y'all call them up there? Prime ministers? But anyway, this story comes out of Canada. Yeah. And let me tell you what Jessica's been doing. Yeah. She's been doing a lot of activism, right? She goes to salons, right? And attempts to get a Brazilian wax. Now, a Brazilian wax, that's a very intimate wax. Yeah. Right? When you think of Brazilian wax, you think of buttholes. Yeah. Right? Vaginas. Lips. All the hairs out of there. That's what she goes to these places and attempts to get this. And when the females figure out that this is a guy, man, if you can't figure out fat bastard's a dude from the moment he walks in that door, you need to get your eyes checked.
No, it's important I clarify, transphobia has no home in Canada. And this beautiful and brave woman, she deserves the same dignity and basic human rights as all women, including that of having her beautiful scrotum and testicles waxed without fear of shame.
I was told there would be a big check.
And as Canada's chief executive, let me offer Jessica our sincerest apologies. And as a symbolic show of unity, allow me to now perform the original services you were so rudely denied.
Mr. Prime Minister, I was told there would be a...
No, Jessica. There's no need to accept a consolation prize here.
Actually, my lawyer and I, we discussed them.
Hey.
Please.
The most important things in life cannot be bought or sold, like the dignity of which you were robbed, on which I could place no monetary value.
Well, actually, we agreed upon it.
And so there's no sense in trying.
Please don't touch me. All right.
The moment they figure out that this is the moment they find out or see the balls, they're like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this. And Jessica's like, you're not gonna do it? I identify as a female. This is discrimination. I'm gonna sue your ass. She's did this at 16 different salons in Canada. I told you she was a troublemaker, man. And there's more to this story. Yeah, she's not even attracted to men. She's attracted to females. Yeah, on Twitter she tweeted that she's actually a lesbian. So you're not even gay. Which blows me away. She's what? She's lesbian. Wait a minute, but she's a guy though. Yeah, but she's identified as a woman, so she calls herself a lesbian. No, you throw that all out the water when they say when they say that. No, hell no.
Jessica also under fire for trying to throw a semi-nude kids pool party where parents weren't allowed. The balls on this broad, and we're going to get back to that later, by the way. It's unsurprising to me. It's completely inevitable because by its very nature, it's sexualizing children. This is a sexual decision. This involves we talk about reproductive rights. What about the reproductive rights of children? Yeah. Shouldn't they have the right to be protected as it relates to their ability to reproduce? We're actually talking about reproductive rights? Yeah. Every time they push some gender studies trend, all the focus immediately on children. Yeah. Why?
How much time you want to go over that for? This is confusing, man. Won't you shut up? Let me get to the story. You pissing me off. I don't think, well... All right, just be quiet. Hands off. I don't sound like a bigot. All right, look here. Right? Now, there's more to this story. She's attempting to have this pool party. I don't know if it's at a house or wherever it is, but it's for ages 12 and up. And the reason why I have a problem with that, again, she's attracted to females, and this party is specifically for women, girls. Huh. What are y'all gonna do about that, leftists? Right? And there's even more to this story. More?
And let's review this, and you might think this is kind of a fringe tendency, but they have a long history of sexualizing children, pushing pedophilia. So let's go to a brief history lesson here. 20th century, okay? Many famous academics, they argued in favor of pedophilia. 1977, 3 Frenchmen, they were put on trial, okay, for having sex with kids, young as 13. Number of French intellectuals signed a petition to legalize sex with young children, okay? This is important because we've talked about gender theory. All of the biggest postmodernist thinkers in France, they signed it. Michel Foucault, Jean Sartre, Jacques, I think was it Jacques Derrida? Jean-François Lyotard is his actual name. Simone de Beauvoir. We've talked about Simone before. The list goes on. The crazy thing is, by the way, the age of consent in France, right? They decided this was going to be the mantle they would carry.
Yeah.
It was already 15. They wanted to completely abolish any law regarding age. In an interview about this petition, Foucault said, I want to quote him directly, "To assume that a child is incapable of explaining what happened and was incapable of giving his consent are two abuses that are intolerable, quite unacceptable." So he thinks it's abuse to not allow kids to have sex. Keep in mind, Foucault is still, to this day, the most cited author in all of the humanities studies across colleges. He's thought of as the father, the godfather of gender theory itself.
No, that's a problem. Yes, big time problem. Because she's attracted to females. She's attracted to females. Like if I go into a female locker room, right? Yeah. I see those ladies walking around, especially the locker room at the gym. At the gym we go to, those women to be working out. Yeah, I go in now. They got the sports bras on and got the thongs on, and the nipples just all hard. They got the panties, the thongs, huge butt muscles from all that squatting, all that thrusting. Oh man, I'm gonna get a powerful erection. Yeah. That's why I have a problem with that.
The first person to claim that gender was a social construct serves as the bedrock for modern gender theory.
Oh boy. I'm starting to see a trend here.
So these were the theorists, right? This is important to note. The theorists, the philosophers. And did you learn in college the John Money study? Did you learn? This was the guy who had twins, and he raised one as a boy, one as a girl?
I know the study now, but I did not know
This is important because this, again, everything you know about transgenderism, you say, well, why does it always push to pedophilia? Well, here's why.
Sorry.
You have the philosophers, the theory, who established it. By the way, they still believe there were only 2 genders. They didn't believe that there were 57 like on your Facebook profile. But
they were only so crazy.
Hey,
then there was
72 genders.
Then there was, in practice, the case study. We wouldn't call it a clinical trial, but you've learned about this in college. This is John Money. He was the one who had twins, right? He raised one as a boy, one as a girl to prove that gender was arbitrary. We've already covered this. One of the twins, who was, I can't remember the one that was raised as a girl, I think, committed suicide.
Yes. Yeah.
The other one did not, to be fair, died of an overdose of antidepressants. And this is still taught in schools as the basis of the modern medical approach to transgenderism. And he had this, John Money, to say about pedophilia. If I were to see the case of a boy aged 10 or 11 who's intensely erotically attracted toward a man in his 20s or 30s, if the relationship is totally mutual and the bonding is genuinely totally mutual, then I would not call it pathological in any way.
That's insane. And he made them, in a point kind of we skipped over, he made them perform sexual acts with each other.
Yes, dominating sexual acts.
Yeah, incredible. And
that in and of itself is sexual abuse. The poet, Allen Ginsberg, I think we talked about, was deported from Cuba for saying Che Guevara was cute. Member of NAMBLA.
Oh my gosh.
Remember he used to say, oh, if you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married.
Right?